Hi everyone, it's Melanie and welcome back to Living Luxuriously for Less. I am so ecstatic about today's video because so many of you guys look at me as your virtual mentor for event planning, wedding planning, DIYs, home decor, you name it, everything beautiful. That's what we do here on this channel. And so I wanted to kind of take you guys through the entire process that I use when I am designing and planning an event. So in today's video, we are going to be covering how to do a mock setup for an event. So without any further ado, let's hop right in. So the first thing that I like to do once I get the table all set is I like to step back to see if there are any gaps or anything, and then I go in and fill in those gaps with my candles, my bud vases, small votives, and things of that nature. I also like to go ahead and kind of place the glassware where I think it's going to look good, but I also kind of like think that whole process out. That's the whole point of doing a mock tablescape. You can move things around as many times as you feel like you need to move them around in order to achieve that desired look without the added pressure of having the entire design completed by a certain time. So you'll see me move things around several times. I'll move the pattern and I'll move the design, and once I get it all set up, I'll take photos so that I can share those photos with my team if needed, and also so that I can remember how I had things set up. I also like to just kind of go through and work it out so that it is going to be visually stunning or aesthetically pleasing no matter what angle of the table you're looking at. So if you're on the right hand side of the table, if you're on the left hand side of the table, I still want it to be beautiful from every single angle. The other thing that I like to do is when I'm designing a table, I like to actually design the table based on the number of people that will be seated at that particular arrangement. So if this table is going to seat 8, I'll do it for 8. If it's going to seat 10 or 6 or whatever the case may be, so that I can ensure that I have enough room for everyone who will be seated at the table. Now here's time for a super quick hack. You know the little Hawaiian punch things that you put in your water to flavor your water. You can get them at Dollar Tree. I like to use these to actually color my water, and it's very, very hard to find these you know, this time of the year. Not these, but food coloring. You can definitely use food coloring, but like when it's spring, if it's not spring, it's a little bit more expensive. So what I like to do is take these packets and like just put a little bit in each one of my vases. And when I put those in my vases, I can go back and like lighten it or darken it to whatever color I want. And you get like 8 packs in the little box for $1. And that's much cheaper than the food coloring because you have to do so many drops. And it's just a little bit different. And I do like to use, the water flavor because it smells good as well. Like this one was great. So I'm just going to take and just pour it to show you guys kind of what that's going to look like. And that's just one of my little hacks that I like to use. It saves money. It's really very cost effective, and it's not like a dye that's going to really like ruin your fabrics or your linens and anything like that. So by the way, if you guys see these Rosette Tablecloths, these are the ones that I hauled the other day from eFavorMart, and I will leave a link down below if you're interested in any of the tablecloths, the napkins, or the sequin backdrop that you see in the back. All of that came from eFavorMart. So I'm seeing that it's a little bit darker than I want. So what I'm going to do is dilute it. I'm not going to open up another packet. I'm just going to pour from the existing one that I have, and then I'll add more water to make it a little bit lighter because I want it to be just a tad bit lighter than what it currently is. I don't want it super light because I have the little pillow candles in place already. That's more of that lavender color. I just wanted it not as dark because the tablecloth is already dark. So I just wanted to you know, just kind of add a tint, like a different shade of the purple. One of the things that my grandmother used to always say when I was a little girl, when she found out something that she didn't know before, was she would love to say, "Well, I declare." Well, guys, that's exactly how I felt when I found out that the little tea lights from the Dollar Tree floated like floating candles. Can you believe that? Well, I declare. So this is a great way for you guys to see exactly what the candlelight is going to look like without burning the candles that you're going to actually be using for your event. If you leave them in the little silver container that they are in, they float just fine. Now, they don't burn a super long time. I will tell you that. They may have like an hour or two burn, but I'm telling you, it works for what you need it for, to see the effect that the light is going to have on the space. And I'm telling you, that is like another hack that I wanted to share. So once you got all of those things in place, and I know another question that you guys may have is, where do you conduct your mock setup? And you can do it in your dining room, on your dining room table, in your garage, in your living room, in your backyard, or even at the venue if it's allowed. But anywhere you can fit a 6-foot table, an 8-foot table, a round table, you put it there and you conduct your mock tablescape. Another thing that I would like to emphasize is that you want to make sure that you set your table using the proper etiquette guidelines. One of my biggest pet peeves is to see a beautiful design or beautifully designed tablescape or event, and then the place setting is all wrong. Take that few extra minutes, print out some things on Google or whatever. Just print out some guidelines on how to properly set your table. And I will link a playlist down below, because I've set 1,000 tables on this channel. Not really 1,000, but many tables. I've also done many tablescapes. You guys forgive the hubby walking back and forth as I'm doing this, but make sure you do that. Make sure you just go by, figure out, what the proper etiquette is, and take that time to learn how to properly set your table. It will make such a huge difference in your design. Also, you want to take time to play with the design, being sure to note any barriers or any findings that you have learned along the way, anything that can be done easier or quicker. Make sure you note those things so that you can create a list of best practices. So when others are helping you, it makes the process of setting up very, very seamless and less stressful. The next step, which is number 4, is to step back and to take a look at your design and see if anything looks out of place to your natural eye. And if it does seem out of place, go back, make those adjustments, and then once you are happy with the way things look with your natural eye, then get your cell phone or get a camera and take snapshots on that. This will allow you to see any holes or any gaps or any design errors that may not have been visible to your natural eye. And then once you are happy with the adjustments that you've made with looking at things from your natural eye and on your camera, then you want to take that same photo. You can send it to some of your design friends, and you can also send it to your client for approval. And then that way you know that exactly what the client likes, what the expectations are, and everyone will be happy.
Your skin, just the touch of your hand makes me tremble within. Love the smell of your hair, lying here in my bed. Never gonna be alone, 'cause with you I'm finally coming home. I wanna be with you always, 'cause that is what my heart says. That's what my heart says. I wanna be with you always. You are my world in every place. It's the things that you do
gorgeous balloon garland was created by my sister-in-law Valerie. She did such an amazing job. And for the backdrop itself, we used this sequin backdrop with the sheer overlay from eFavorMart, and I will leave that link down below. I absolutely love these because they're very simple, yet they have a very, very beautiful and impactful touch. So I thought it just added so much to the overall look of the design. And when you're taking photos, you still have that backdrop to pull in more beauty and more color. Doing mock setups have so many added benefits. Number one, it alleviates the added and unnecessary stress on the day of setting up that event. Number two, it helps with your advertising and sharing your photos on social media. Number three, it helps with the detail shots that you may not necessarily get to take on the day that you're actually setting up the event, like the little beaded flower or plant that I have on each napkin. I may miss that small detail on the day of the event, but if I take that photo in a mock setup, like I see that little curly willow that fell that's right there under the chair, by me backing up and taking those photos, I see all of the little bitty things that I don't necessarily get to tweak on the day of the event. I can tweak those in my mock setup and use those details in order to advertise my business. And then the fourth thing is that you get to use it as a mini style shoot. So many of you guys have asked me, Melanie, how do I advertise my business or my service if I don't have photos? I didn't get pictures, or I haven't been able to do an event. And this is a great way to do it. You can invest in enough materials like 2 tablecloths, 12 chair covers. You can invest in this in order to create a mini style shoot so that you can properly advertise your business using your work. I think one of the things that I recommend to the individuals that I mentor is that I tell them to use their work when they first start out, because the worst thing you can do is use another stylist's work and not be able to duplicate it and then have people thinking that that is your actual work. So I hope you guys learned a lot from this video on how to do a mock setup before an event. Please be sure to leave me your favorite comment down in the description box below. And if you have any additional questions that you would like for me to answer, leave that below as well. And finally, I would love to invite you to become a part of the Lux for Less family. All you have to do is click that subscribe button and ring my notification bell so that you will be alert of all of the future videos that I have to come. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and until next time, it's Melanie with Living Luxuriously for Less. Cheers!
Together forever, never to part. I wanna be with you always, 'cause that is what my heart says. That's what my heart says. I wanna be